Hello, and welcome to my tutorial series on how to make a 2D mobile platformer in Unity. This video is part 1 of 2, in which we will be using our Raycast to develop a wall jump mechanic. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. It helps this content a lot. Now let's begin. So we're going to start off by opening our player movement script, and just so we don't start confusing ourselves, we're going to put a little comment here. And we're just gonna put wall jumps right here. Actually, we'll just put wall jump variables, just so we can separate it from all our movement variables up here. And then underneath this, the first one we're gonna do is gonna be a private bool, and it's gonna be called on wall right. Underneath it, same thing, only it's going to be on wall left. Right below this, we're going to create 2 vector 3s. And if this looks familiar, it's going to be very much like what we did with the movements, only it's going to be against the wall. So it's going to be a vector 3, and it's going to be wall ray position left. Just save some time here. We'll copy and paste, and we'll just make one for the right. And below that, we're going to have a Raycast hit 2D brackets, go to the end, and it's going to be called wall hits left. And right below it, copy, paste, and this one is going to be right. So next we're going to clean up our code a little bit. We're going to go down here into this private void jump function, and we're actually going to take this first part right here, and we're going to just make it its own function just to separate things a little more. So we're going to put private void, and we'll just call this ray setup. Just like that. Parentheses, give it some brackets. And then we're going to take this code right here. All this. We're going to cut it. And we're going to paste it in here so that our ray setup is just a separate function, and here we're just going to put ray setup parentheses and semicolon, and now it's just going to run here. And we're going to be using quite a few little comments just to make sure everything is well organized. We're going to put that this is the ground check / standard jump ray setup, because underneath it what we're going to have is going to be the wall jump / slide ray setup. That way we know which section of code is belonging to what function of the script, or what part of this function. So then what we're also going to do is that we're going to actually, where is it? This jump function, actually, we're going to move this also. We're going to put it into the jump. I think it makes a little more sense to organize it that way. So we're going to cut that out. We're going to go right back up to our jump. Actually, we'll put it under that, Control V. And we're also going to make sure to annotate that this is the ground jump, because there's going to be a wall jump also. So we're just trying to organize ourselves a little bit here so we don't get confused as we add more and more code here. It might be a little hefty, so we know exactly what portion is going to what control of our player. So right over here under our wall jump / slide ray setup comment, we're going to put wall ray position left, and we're going to make this equal to transform dot position plus new vector 3, and the three components of our vector 3 are going to be negative ray position offset, which we declared in the last video, comma 0.5 for the y position and 0 for the z position. I'm going to end that with a semicolon, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to copy and paste this, Control V, and then I'm going to make that positive, and we're going to make this the right hand side. And then next, just like last time, this is going to become a component of our wall hits left, which is going to equal physics 2D dot Raycast all, and the three positions for this are going to be wall ray position left, comma vector 2 dot left. Last time we did down, so now we want it to go to the left, comma ray length. I'm going to put a semicolon at the end of that, and then we're going to go ahead, copy, Control V, make this the right hand side, and right here we're going to say it's going to be negative vector 2 left, meaning it's just going to go in the opposite direction when it's the right hand side. So now we're going to start tying this all together. Actually, before that, let's make sure to fix this. That should be right. And now we're going to put in an on wall left, and that's going to be equal to ray check, which is a function we're going to create down below. And through this function, it's going to be a bool type function. We're going to put wall hits left, and we're just going to copy Control V. And for the other one, wall hits right. And then right here, we're going to put, this is just a function we're creating. We're going to call it ray check. And that's going to go down here. Private bool ray check. And through it, we're casting this wall hits left and right. And we're going to put that here in the argument here. Raycast hit 2D brackets. After the brackets, we're going to call what we're passing through it ray hits. Then inside here, it's going to look very familiar, but we're going to leave one little small portion out of it for each Raycast 2D hit in ray hits. Let's make sure to spell everything right. We're going to put if hit dot collider is not equal to null, and if hit dot collider dot tag does not equal player collider, and then another bracket. Then we're going to return true. And then at the end of this right here, that if it doesn't return like before, it's going to return false. So like before, we created this wall position left and we defined it as a vector 3. Then we use this to define this raycast right here, wall hits left, wall hits right, and then we pass these two through this function, and this is all what we did before down here pretty much. Actually, we have a couple things to fix here. This should be raycast raycast hit 2D, and this should just be hit dot collider, and this should have a semicolon at the end right there. Also, this needs to be for each one word, fixing a lot of errors here. And this needs to be a 0.5f because it has to convert it to a float just like up here. And now down here, instead of just writing all this stuff over and over again and commenting it out when I need to test it, because I don't want it there all the time when I hit play, I put all our drawing ray stuff right here. I just made it its own little function right here. I just put private void draw ray. I just cut and pasted the draw ray script right here, and I put it here, and it's under ground rays. This is just what was done in the previous video, and then I just simply added one for the wall rays, which are going to be on the side. It's very much the same thing, only it's debug.drawRay.wall ray position left, comma, vector 2 dot left times ray length. It's pretty much the same thing. It's going to be drawn the same way, only I just wanted to put it into one function. I'm going to take this function, I'm going to go up here, and I'm just going to put draw ray right there. So it's just another way to make things a little neater. You could have left it right there. It didn't really make a difference. It was just kind of my own personal thing I wanted to do. Okay, let's go see what this looks like. Let's hit play. And this is not what we want. This one is kind of what we want. We want them to be more in the center. Just remember also, you hit the gizmo and things appear and reappear. Our bottom ones are right. So let's go ahead, and I know what to do to fix this. One is a mistake on my part. Sorry for all the mistakes. This has to be negative for starters. And if we go up here to our wall jump ray slide setup here, this is 0.5f. This would be better suited. This is the y direction. We don't want it to be halfway up y. So that's the end. We want it to be 0. We want it to be 0 in the y direction, actually. So we're going to go back, let this compile. We'll hit play. And there we go. That's what I wanted. I want these rays right here to be able to be in the middle here, so when he touches the wall, just like that. And so our movement and jumping seems to be well in hand. So it looks like we can move on. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and support me on Patreon. And a big special thanks to all my Patreon supporters. All links are in the description below. See you next time.